Mm-hmm. Good evening once again. M.M Out here, over there, everywhere, all over the place. As usual, we have the Apostle Lynn Rice Cavalry here, and we're going to have a chat about transport.
Well, okay.
Now, the Right Honorable Prime Minister M.M Out There held a hastily put together press conference recently, in which she conceded, as far as I'm concerned, by taking the $3.50 to $2.50 or $2 whatever for the school children.
Right.
That's conceding. And made certain also concessions to the PSV
Yes, that's correct.
thing. Now, what she also stated that some things were discovered by an investigation, not by the two ministers of transport,
Right.
which, and I will go on record as saying this, that those two ministers of transport are the worst ministers of transport in the history of Barbadian politics. Those two, right now. Now, they were talking about the deterioration of the bus terminals and the we normally talk about the north. Have you ever been into the terminal in Spicetown?
Oh, of course.
Well, what's your view on the terminal in Spicetown?
I mean, when it was first built, it was, it was a plus. It was an upliftment for St. Peter to have that kind of facility. As a matter of fact, the current police station here in Spicetown was the work bay for the bus terminal. Very, very nice. Very nice. But it has deteriorated over the years, so it is now not, what it was when it first came.
Well, I actually went in there. Now, if you go into the washroom section, there's no door.
Okay. I haven't been to that point, but now that you're explaining that, yes.
Yes, there are actually sections inside. Whereas let's say you wanted to use the toilet, you have to sit. There's no door.
Right.
So I mean, what's the sense of having the toilet with no door?
Right.
There's certain taps that are running all the time. It can't be turned off. It's running all the time. That's a waste of water. And other things which they won't even mention.
Yeah.
And well, I didn't go to the ladies section, but I presume that can't be wherever it was different.
Okay.
Right? Now, aren't people employed to keep these things in order? Like, you don't have a janitor or somebody around to make sure, okay, but there's no door, let me write it down, make a note, there's no door?
There always, janitorial staff, what we call ancillary staff, and then there's also the maintenance department. The problem many times with getting work done in Barbados as far as government is concerned is that there's too much red tape in terms of getting simple things done. Even in terms of like the waterworks, you see a main, you see that it's burst, but you've got to go in, you've got to report it, you've got to write a file, you've got to do all these things before you can get it fixed. This is what we see over and over again within government departments. That something needs to be done, but it takes a week before all of the paperwork is sorted out before that thing can be done. I think one of the things that's necessary is we need to look at our, number one, our efficiency and then our competency level. And I think this is what we're seeing over here in Spicetown, the bus terminal.
You did mention about that you have to go in and report something. If I see a main burst, because I've seen main burst for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And, that's like, okay, that's like a police vehicle going this way, and see a guy chopping up another guy. And they say, okay, well, nobody called that in.
Yeah. Well,
right? So why should we interfere? If nobody called it in?
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
Right.
At a different level.
Again, efficiency and competency, which is those two things are very important, and in many cases lacking from within governmental structure right now.
Now, we were talking about the deplorable state of the bus terminal.
The bus terminal, that's correct.
Right? There are also booths in there like, okay, someone's supposed to give you change. No one is ever there. A waste of time again. And the Prime Minister also mentioned about people not knowing, not communication, not telling, okay, there's no bus, the bus is not,
Right.
and since she mentioned that, it's still going on.
Okay. Well, if you recall in one of our previous interviews, we talked about the system. And I mentioned that you realize that this was not properly thought out by government at all.
No, and it's clearly seen now.
Okay, and I mentioned that to you because there's no way that you should raise bus fares without restructuring your bus system, because we're talking about value here. You pay for value, okay? So you're paying more money in bus fare, but your bus system has not changed. So it's a system of robbery. If you're going to charge more, you make sure that your bus system is efficient. And I spoke to you about how to restructure the bus systems coming out of Bridgetown, rehubbing the whole structure so that you get, our people get value for money.
In fact, since the bus fares have gone up, the service has gotten worse.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
they were saying that there were 55 buses, and they understand about 40 now. So the system has gotten worse, and the bus fares have gone up.
Right. So that, again, that is going to create a level of frustration, because how are you paying more and the system has gone to a worse state?
Yeah.
So you're not going to get the type of response from the public, because if you're making them pay more, then things should improve.
The Prime Minister seems to be using a system of, because the Prime Minister is no fool, you know.
Yeah.
Prime Minister is very brilliant.
Well, the Prime Minister, obviously, she's a very brilliant lady. It's just that many times when you are surrounded by individuals who are not at your competency level, it makes you look like an idiot.
Indeed.
Okay? And this is one of the things, even for myself in ministry, we talk about making sure you surround yourself with the right people. Okay, people who understand your vision and understand where you're going. This has always been one of the main problems, and I did say this to you back then when we were talking about our former prime ministers who had vision, like Edward Barrow had vision. In some cases, Mr. Adam had vision. Lloyd Erskine Sanders had vision in relation to what is now the premier conference facility in the Caribbean. The Lloyd Erskine Sanders Center, formerly Sherborne Center, that people call a white elephant when it was being. But see, you must have people that can see further, okay? And when you have one person at the helm who possibly can see more, and then you have another group of individuals around you, your second base level, or what we would call your inner circle, what I would call your inner circle, who can't see what you're seeing, is going to be a problem.
A perfect example of that. Now, this investigation, right, was done by two ministers, not the two incompetent ministers and the Minister of Transport, you know. Why did she have two other ministers given the task to find this thing, and not those two idiots?
Again, as I said, you need people to get the job done. Okay, like even here within St. Peter, some folks said, well, I didn't vote for Apostle Scanlon because of their own opinion of me. And I said, okay, well, fine. Well, you've elected the person in your opinion that you consider to be better than me. Well, look at the job. So this is where we have to understand a level of maturity has to come. There's a job that needs to be done, and the person to do the job might not necessarily be the person you like. But there's a job that needs to be done. And I think in working with those ministers that the Prime Minister selected to sort this matter, to investigate this matter, obviously have the ability to get the job done.
And not the two ministers of transport.
That's obvious. Because as I said to you, this was not carefully thought out. It was not carefully thought out. And I did mention to you some of the plans that the NDKA had for our transportation system.
Without giving away everything.
Without giving away everything.
Yeah.
Just kind of whet the appetite. But there's a way to make it work, because Barbados is only 166 square miles. We're not a metropolis like New York City that has buses, that has trains, that has a very, very, very well thought out cab system, Uber system, transit system. So there are things in Barbados that can work, okay, but it has to be carefully thought out, and this is what they have not sat down and done. And we're going to have problems. It's going to happen over and over. And by the time you get this sorted out, you're going to have to readdress our road conditions again.
Yeah, I mean, this is terrible. I see a lot of people walking.
Yeah, because you're going to force. Barbadians are very, very resourceful. Okay, they're going to think on a different level. So we understand. I have a friend that's going in that direction. Okay, well, I'm going to get a lift with him. I'm going to get a lift with her. People are going to start carpooling more, which means that there are going to be less people at the pump. Okay, which means that the buses aren't going to make as much money. The transport board will not make as much money because people are going to find a way to cut costs. Okay, because $3.50 in bus fare is a lot of money. People talk about Jamaica. Jamaica is much larger than Barbados. Population
By
much
far.
larger.
Kingston
Right.
is larger than Barbados.
Okay, so we're talking volume. Okay, we're talking volume, and this is one of the things that we have to understand. Basically, it's about an hour's drive from Bridgetown to Collingtown. Okay.
Yeah, give or
And,
take.
yeah, give or take. And what I'm saying is that diversify the system is very, very easy to do. It's very, very easy to implement. Because there's nowhere in Barbados as far.
But why could all this have been done? They said they ordered buses. I would have felt better had the buses arrived and then this done.
Yeah. Well, again, Mr. Morris, let me say to you, I don't think the problem in Barbados is really in the dimension of needing more buses. I think we need an efficient service. Okay. And a service that is futuristic. In other words, when you look at the buses that we're buying, they don't link to the future. Okay? And it is also very important for us to understand, again, that you can do much with little if it is ran properly, if it is governed properly. And again, what we're seeing is a lack of proper governance. We've talked about that.
Now, I'm an accountant by trade. And some of these buses that appear to be new are actually buses that are depreciated on the books of the previous owners and are actually worth nothing. But they're reconditioned and put down here as new buses. Lots of people don't know that.
Yeah. And you're accurate about that.
Yeah, so then they'll actually, what happens is that after a few months, especially on these roads, you'll find it starts like it wants to fall to pieces.
Exactly, because the buses, these bus cars that they have are built for smooth roads. They're not built for the roads that we have. And some of them were air conditioned and all these different things. And what we have to understand, again, let's go back to the reality of what we're looking at. The system isn't working. To make people pay more for a system that isn't working is robbery.
I agree. And that's exactly what appears to be happening and what is going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
You were given 30 seats. You were given a full mandate, right? And I think you should be doing better at this time. Anyway, Apostle, we have to go. This is part 1, but we'll be back shortly.
Yes, sir.
So, M.M Out here, over there, everywhere, saying that that's all for now, but we'll be back very shortly.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.